skipping an episode. Fuck it.
So, okay.
All right, so this is episode 2. We've made it this far.
Again. We paused. I thought I had paused it, but I was just sitting there. That Jeff's like, "You're drowning." And I'm like, "What?" Uh-oh.
It's just like going to a pool and watching somebody go down underneath the water and holding their mouth open.
So what am I missing?
You need the I don't know, the boy that makes you go faster.
That I need for sure.
You need the fast boy. You need that.
Yes.
You need. Do you have the radiation?
The rebreather. That's a thing.
I don't have that. I don't know how to make that.
All right. So, okay.
So now we can kind of actually talk about the beauty of this game a little bit.
Which is quite beautiful. So one thing about this and most survival games is that it's like there's levels of what you can accomplish based on the things you found. So right now we can't do very much, and the things we want to find are like rare because we can't go very far away from where we start. These are dope.
Yeah,
so this is brain coral.
This will help you breathe.
These just give you underwater air. They work under sonic rules.
Yeah.
But I won't hold it against them.
And then just imagine this game as tense as it is already with the sonic drowning music when you're about to drown.
I'm sure that's a mod.
I would lose my mind. This is a VR game as well, which is a scary thing to imagine.
Yeah, we talked about that on an episode that disappeared.
The RAP episode.
So, yes, this is a VR game, and actually that was a thing that I initially turned me off to it. I was like, oh, it's VR, and it's totally my fault.
Yeah,
this is nothing about VR. I actually think it's really cool, and I don't have a way to do it right now.
Can we afford it? No, it's expensive.
Buy our shirts.
But
it's such a douchebag thing to say. I'm sorry, everybody.
Hey, what's up, fans? We just want you to shout out and buy our shirts. That's what it sounds like.
Listen, guys, I can be better. I will be better. Bye for now.
Come back in a month with our new video, The Return.
I hope a guy fights my dad. So, yes, I think VR is awesome. And I actually think now it's getting to a point where there are games that are taking advantage of it in an interesting way. This being one of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a good game without VR, but I can just see the immersion level would just skyrocket.
I don't know that I would be able to emotionally handle this.
And we said that before. Like this game, it's already
salt.
It's already kind of tense and scary just with a controller and looking at a TV screen.
I'm gonna drown.
And no, you're not. You're fine.
No, I mean, to hydrate?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, you need water.
You're like, there you go.
Water everywhere. Just everyone have a drink. It's fine.
Water everywhere. So have yourself a drink.
Just slurp it up. Slurp. What the fuck is that?
Laser cutter.
Oh, shit. That's where they're at?
It's a rando.
I didn't know that it was just in these little boxes on occasion. It's so small.
It's hard to make.
But it's not the size that matters.
Yeah.
It's what it cuts.
Come on, man. So, I like VR.
Have you used really good VR yet? Have you actually been able to demo a VR? Damn, another one. Jesus.
No. That's okay. So, here's a real quick tip. If you see,
here's a pro tip from JoJo.
Yeah, JoJo Lewis pro tips. If you see one of the things for an object, there's a good chance that the others are really close by.
That is the most generic sounding tip I've ever heard. I know, in the context of this game,
dick.
It makes sense. If you see one of a thing, the other thing's probably nearby.
But that's the reason I bring that up in the stupid way I did was video game logic, especially for other games of this type. Mm-hmm. Things that you need a set of are never near each other.
Right.
On purpose. Because they want... It's a fucking bullshit trick that the developer puts in place to make you feel like you want to explore. Because you're like, maybe I'll find that one thing I need. Right. Not this. This game is like, if you found one, The other ones are probably like really close because why wouldn't they be?
Which, when you think about logically, the situation this game puts you in, where there's a spaceship that exploded and pieces of it went everywhere, the fact that there are two exact duplicates of the same item within like 50 meters of each other
actually makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Oh, silver.
Sweet.
Hi ho.
But that's also like this game is very. I'm going to use the word organic when it comes to.
Oh, really? Is it like poetry? Does it rhyme?
It rhymes, and that's how you know it's a poem. Because it's like it rhymes. It comes back to the original stanza.
Sort of like poetry.
It's a little bit like poetry. But like in this game, like you can find things and you can like smash open rocks and get like shit. It doesn't highlight things to where they seem unnatural in the environment.
It can though.
It can, but like
that's a thing you can unlock.
Oh really? Oh
yes.
Wow. Okay, I just thought you were just certain things can stand out.
So this game is very organic in the way that you. That is the word to think about because it's like you're a part of the environment really, and
that moon is booking it, by the way.
Crazy, right?
It's going like 10 miles an hour.
So here's an interesting thing about. So this is an open world game, in the best possible sense of the word, and it's interesting to me because I played like Horizon Zero Dawn,
which you hate.
I hate that game.
I know you hate that game.
I don't understand why people like it.
Danielle hates you for hating that game.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't want to have to mansplain to her why that game sucks.
If she wasn't sleeping right now, I would pull her ass out.
She would be like, turn on the other microphone.
Like, please do mansplain to me why you hate that game.
No, so the reason why I don't like that game is because there's no exploration.
Mm-hmm.
And in an open world, the one thing you should never do, if it's a game where exploration is supposed to be like an aspect of it, you should never just tell someone where all the important things are, because that defeats the purpose.
Right. There's no fun in the finding.
So in Horizon, you can like there's stuff to find, right?
Right.
But none of it really.
It doesn't really matter.
None of it really does anything.
In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't affect the overall game.
Right, and of course I am being
nitpicky.
I'm exaggerating a little bit,
right.
But not so much that it's hard.
You hate women. We get it. I understand.
So what can you find in Horizon? You can find the lotus flowers. You can find
the lotus flowers are nothing. I found a bunch of those.
Yeah, you can find the lotus flowers. You can find
that guy. Always leave.
You can find mugs.
Yeah, the mugs don't matter either.
You can find artworks, I believe.
You can find these spots that you can look at old like recordings.
Sure. Yeah, that's a big collectible. But again, those don't really do anything, and find them or don't find them, the game isn't going to change very much.
Mm-hmm. It affects the story and the depth of the world that you're in, though.
Right, but again, does it? Does finding a bunch of random, unimportant objects make the world better?
I think it depends on how interested you are in the world. Personally, like when I was playing through the game, like I didn't go and find the mugs and stuff. I didn't really care. I haven't beaten the game. I got to a point and I just the story kind of dropped off at a point for me that I kind of was like,
right.
I don't really want to keep on.
Well, that's the thing though, is like you said something pretty kind of interesting where you were like, it depends on how invested you are in the story.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a story element.
That you have to try and be invested in?
No, that's a world element.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the story.
What's an example of what you're saying in a game that does it well?
Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
So there is no compulsion to explore. The game doesn't demand that you explore. It just, here's a bunch of shit. You can look through it if you want, but right from the start, you know what you're supposed to do. And it's very simple. It's like, go here, kill Ganon.
Right.
Anything else you do is up to you. Yeah, and just so we're clear, we did work on stuff for you to do. You have the option of looking at it, and doing so will probably make your time here easier, but you're not forced to. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Horizon is like, okay, you need to go to a place and kill a guy. You can look around if you want, but there's nothing there. There's nothing to do.
Is it because you
There's
think the
nothing
majority of the
interesting.
important story beats are mandated? Like you're going to go through them no matter what. There's
Well-
nothing. There's no important story
Well,
beats
let's say.
outside
Well,
of
what
the,
if I veer away from? So okay, so this
guys,
is
this is a super funny part of the episode, by the way. Just I hope
this
you're
is an
tuning
open
in.
world with shit to do in it. All right,
Right.
look at all the just look.
Yeah.
Look at all the shit I get to interact with.
Yeah.
I get to. There's things to scan. There's things to fuck with. There's things to attack. There's things to collect.
There's fish to eat.
There's fish to eat. Fish gotta eat.
Fish gotta eat. I always say.
I need to be like looking around for supplies, but I'm on my high horse, so I can't.
Well,
But in Horizon, okay, so here's the thing, and this is my idea on open worlds that nobody shares. What makes an open world is not the size of it,
it's how you use it.
right? Or more importantly, it's your relationship to it.
Gotcha.
So, what is my relationship to this? Well, it depends. It depends, one, on where I am and what I'm doing. But like right now, so like I'm nearby my little pod. So my relationship to this place is like, okay, this is safe. This is familiar.
It's well
This-
lit.
Yeah, this well lit. It's shallow. That's also like everything about this is set up to like, okay.
If I went scuba diving for the first time, I
This
would
is where you
want it
wanna
to be
go.
exactly
Yes.
where I'm going.
So let's say
I will never go scuba diving, though, FYI.
Jeff never goes scuba diving. So let's say I go a little further out because I'm about to go a little further out. My relationship. Okay, that's the other thing though. So this place is safe and familiar, right?
Right.
But it's not very valuable to me to be here.
It has a limit to its usefulness.
So the things I can get that I can use are sort of limited. Like I can get food and water. I can get basic supplies to make shit.
It's your bread and water area. It's
Right.
the basic necessities of life that
But
you're never going to.
The way this game works is the further away you get from safety, the more dangerous it becomes. So there's bigger predators and just the environment is deadlier. And also like you get hungry and thirsty. Like you need to eat and drink in order to stay alive. I mean, yes, that's a game mode. You don't have to play that way. But the world becomes more dangerous the further away you get from your safe spot, right? So that means that you start your feelings towards the open world are that, okay, I'm safe here, but I also can't make progress. But the further out I go, the more dangerous it is. But also, by risking going out, one, I get to make progress like in terms of my gear and stuff.
I advance.
But also, I get to like experience things. I get to see like this.
You evolve with.
so
world in
just
itself.
just there's a level of wonder. That
This game does
that-
really good at that. This
Yes.
is one of the few games of open world like
There's-
free roaming survival.
There's been
that I'm
moments
like, wow.
playing this game where I'm like, holy, like I'm like, holy shit, what is happening? Like I'm feeling all the things.
And even though, and actually watching you play it now, I can say because I saw a landmark that I saw in my game, it's not randomly generated.
It's procedurally generated.
I don't think it is.
No.
Because there's a little there's a
Oh, no, not procedure. Yeah, it's there's only so many different pieces, but the pieces can be in any order.
Okay.
Because like this doesn't look like my game. It doesn't look like the ones we had that we lost.
We don't speak of those, but
we
yes.
don't speak of those.
Um,
No, but so my relationship to this open world is very like clear to me. Like, okay, there's progress to be made, and the further I get from my little house, the more likely I am to find valuable equipment, and also the more likely I am to find something just amazing.
This is like the first Zelda game, but underwater.
Yes.
Exactly.
What is Horizon's relationship to the open world?
I mean,
It doesn't change very much. Like you can go to the cold area.
Right.
What does that do?
Get you cold.
Doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
You can fight different robots. Okay, what do they give you? Well, I
Stuff.
mean, stuff to fight other robots. Sure.
I can see what you're saying.
There's just not a lot to do there, but the impression is there is. And I find that to be infuriating. Because it's like make levels then. If the only thing you really worked on was the story, then just do that. Why have an open world that's not open? See, that's the part that's frustrating. Is it's like you basically created levels with collectibles to find within the level, but then you just link them all together in a seamless fashion. There's no relationship to be had between you and the area you're in. It's just the area you're in. It could be anywhere. So what's the fucking point?
It's a larger enslaved Odyssey to the West.
I don't know what that means.
It's a good game. But it's also a very linear game that's very similar in tone,
Yes.
as well as style and like the way it looks to Horizon.
Yeah. And the thing that's... I don't even know why we're talking about this.
Yeah. We're at
The
15 minutes.
thing is, like, they talk about Breath of the Wild and Horizon Zero Dawn in the same breath. Granted, they came out in the same year, so I
They're
understand
very different,
that.
and I like.
But there's a thing, like, they were both vying for, like, I think it was Gamescom or fucking some. It was
some
more
big show where it was.
It was prestigious.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was the GDC, but they were like game of the year, like most innovative or just best overall, and it was like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, and then like Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
And it's like, why that? It has merits in terms of like voice acting and animation. Animations are gorgeous.
Yeah. It's good. It's a very pretty game.
But what are you doing? What's the game?
Dinosaurs, robot dinosaurs.
Sure, I like schlock. What's the game really? What's the challenge? It's like, okay, fight a dinosaur and maybe fucking, I don't know.
Yeah.
See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, wow. You hate that game.